Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to transform privacy compliance from a frustrating legal headache into literally your most critical engineering foundation for data retention and revenue generation. Over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack one of the absolute most vital elements of modern web infrastructure.
So let's dive right in by asking a pretty hard question. Is your basic cookie banner quietly breaking your analytics? Because under modern privacy laws like GDPR, CCPA, and the Digital Markets Act, a poorly configured banner can instantly blind your analytics and just completely destroy your ad performance. Imagine waking up to find 40% of your Shopify sales suddenly unattributed, all because a well-meaning developer tweaked a single line of code in the footer. You see, compliance is no longer just a legal sticker glued onto a web page. It is a deeply integrated engineering discipline.
Here's our roadmap for This Explainer. We're going to hit the compliance illusion, unpack CMP architecture, figure out how to choose the right one, dive into Google Consent Mode v2, compare basic versus advanced mode, and wrap up with a 5-step audit plan.
All right, part 1, the compliance illusion.
You know, to non-technical teams, a CMP is often just seen as that annoying little pop-up on the bottom of the screen. But to an engineer, a CMP is actually a real-time policy and signal routing firewall. It's kind of like a strict bouncer at an exclusive nightclub. When a user lands on your site, this engine, our bouncer, has to execute before any tracking tags even load. It checks the visitor's ID, evaluates their geographic location against local laws, like strict opt-in under GDPR or opt-out in California, before letting a single drop of data pass through to your tracking tags. It dynamically fires compliant signals downstream and, crucially, records an encrypted, auditable ledger in the cloud to keep the regulators happy. Moving right along to Section 2, CMP Architecture Explained. So how does a click actually live its life here? Well, it's a 4-step engineering lifecycle. It kicks off with the CMP continuously crawling your site in an automated discovery phase just to detect all your scripts and cookies. Next up is categorization, where those tags get mapped into strict buckets like necessary, analytics, or marketing. The third step is absolutely critical, execution order. The CMP must be integrated at the very top of your document head. Seriously, if a marketing tag fires even 1 millisecond before this engine initializes, you are instantly out of compliance. And finally, consent signal propagation happens, meaning native consent initialization triggers fire dynamically inside Google Tag Manager, but only when the proper consent state is explicitly granted. Which brings us to Section 3, choosing the right CMP. What's really interesting here is how distinctly segmented the market is. Not all CMPs are built for the same kind of organization. At the very top, you've got OneTrust as the heavy enterprise standard for global data governance. This is the one you buy when you have a massive legal team scrutinizing every single pixel. User-Centrics is fantastic for mid-market e-commerce because they lean hard into A/B testing and conversion rate optimization. Didomi, that's tailored for media and publishers who rely heavily on programmatic ads and connected TV. Then Osano is perfect for mid-market B2B tech with a super simple UI and, get this, a literal no-fine guarantee. And rounding it out, Enzuzo offers lightning-fast, budget-friendly deployments built specifically for small businesses and Shopify stores. Next up, Section 4, Google Consent Mode v2. Okay, we absolutely have to talk about the looming threat of the EU's Digital Markets Act and what Google is doing in response. Under the DMA, Google is legally designated as a gatekeeper. Because of this, they absolutely require verified consent signals for any user in the European Economic Area or the UK before they'll process advertising data or enable personalized remarketing. So, Consent Mode v2, it's no longer optional. It is strictly mandatory for your tech stack. If you ignore this, Google will just flat out stop processing your European ad data. Period. Version 1 of Consent Mode focused on 2 pretty simple toggles, analytics storage and ad storage. But now you've got to explicitly pass 2 brand new mandatory signals, ad user data and ad personalization. The first one basically asks, did the user give us explicit consent to send user-level data, like hashed emails back to Google? The second one controls if that data can actually be used for personalized retargeting campaigns. If you fail to pass these via a certified CMP, your remarketing lists will stop populating immediately and your international conversion tracking degrades right away. All right, Section 5, Basic versus Advanced Implementation. When you're setting up Consent Mode v2, you're really looking at 2 entirely distinct paths. Basic mode creates a total blind spot. Google tags are completely hard-blocked from firing until a user clicks accept. So if you use basic mode and 40% of your users reject your banner, you instantly lose 40% of your analytics and attribution data. Boom, gone. But advanced mode, that brilliantly changes the game. Tags load immediately with a default denied state. If the user declines, no cookies are written. Instead, the tag utilizes cookieless pings to transmit anonymized technical metadata. It's kind of like this. Basic mode is a security camera with the lens cap entirely on. You see absolutely nothing. Advanced mode is a motion sensor. You don't know exactly who walked into the room, but you absolutely know someone was there.
And this creates a massive difference in data visibility. If you're operating completely blind in basic mode, you're stuck at roughly 60% visibility. However, by feeding those cookieless, anonymous motion sensor pings from advanced mode into their machine learning models, Google can reliably model and recover about 65 to 70% of your lost conversion data. This actually bumps your total visibility back up to 85 or 90%. It keeps your smart bidding algorithms perfectly fueled and highly accurate, all while remaining 100% privacy compliant.
Finally, Section 6, your 5-step audit plan.
Okay, here is your 5-step engineering checklist to take straight back to your team today. 1. Verify your CMP is actually an officially certified Google partner. 2. Audit all 4 of those V2 parameters using Tag Assistant to make sure they're sending the correct update signals. 3. Validate your trigger order, meaning confirm your CMP default signals fire before any marketing tags execute. 4. Deploy advanced mode so you can actually leverage that AI conversion modeling we just discussed. And 5. Make sure you're continuously monitoring your baseline remarketing audience sizes so you can catch any technical drop-offs early.
At the end of the day, we really have to stop viewing privacy as just a legal roadblock. When you implement it correctly, through a properly architected CMP and Google Consent Mode V2, privacy compliance is no longer a constraint on marketing at all. It literally becomes the engineering foundation of performance marketing and customer trust. So as you dive back into your tag manager today, I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought. Are you proactively building a firewall of trust that fuels your marketing algorithms? Or is your basic cookie banner quietly breaking your business right under your nose? Take this 5-step audit plan, double-check your architecture, and make absolutely sure your setup is optimized for this new era. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.